Very good. N minus 1 word. So in 1 gram model, how many words you'll be using from the context?
No words. 0.
No words, 0 words from the context. If it is n is equal to 2, if it's a bigram, how many words you'll be using from the context?
1 word.
1 word. So if the n gram model, if the n gram, bigram, trigram, 3 grams, it's a trigram, we'll be using previous 2 words to find the third word. If it's a bigram, I will be using the previous 1 word to find the next word. Okay, if it is a 1 gram model, I will not be using any word from the context directly. The word divided by the total number of words gives the probability. So in general, n gram model uses n minus words from the context. Okay, till there we have done. Next one, estimating this n gram probability. So how to find the probability for any gram or bigram or trigram? They will be using a maximum likelihood estimate. Okay, what is MLE? That is a maximum likelihood estimate. So what MLE will do is, suppose we want to compute the probability of WI given what is given. What is given? If I want to compute the probability of WI given, from this equation you can tell, right? If I want to find the probability of the word WI given, what is given? What is there in the denominator? Given what?
WI minus
I
1.
minus 1. See, if it is a slash here, you have to read it as given. Okay, the probability I have to find. So how this has to be read is probability of WI. I want to find the word, probability of the word WI given. What is given? WI minus 1. If previous word is given, I want to find the next word. Okay, so if we want to find the n-gram probability, what is the probability of the occurrence of the next word given the previous word or previous 2 words or previous 3 words, either it is a bigram or trigram or any n-gram model. So we will be using a maximum likelihood estimate, that we call it as MLE. Okay, what the maximum likelihood estimate is? Most probable. That is, suppose we want to compute the probability of WI given WI minus 1. Okay, so what is the probability? How I am calculating the probability of WI, the word WI? What is the probability of the word WI given the previous word WI minus 1? Okay, so how I can find out? In my corpus, I have to count how many times the word WI minus 1 occurred among those, what fraction of times WI occurred after WI minus 1. That is this formula. Can you interpret this formula again? So I am telling this right hand side how it is this, how to find the probability of the word WI given. See, for example, I ate dash. Okay, I ate food, or I ate apple. So I ate dash. The dash is WI. Okay, so the dash can be filled by using the previous word. Previous word is calculated as what? The previous word is taken as what? The dash is WI means the previous word will be taken as what? WI. See,
Minus 1.
very good. WI minus 1. See, I am taking class. Okay, so I am taking dash. Okay, I am taking class, or I am taking food. I am taking an umbrella. Anything it can be dash. Okay, so the dash is WI. I want to find the probability of WI given what? I am taking dash. So given what is given? I am taking is given. That is previous word. WI minus 1, WI minus 2 is given. Generally, they have given one term. Okay, that is bigram. So what is the probability of WI given WI minus 1 is equal to, how does the formula is, that is in my corpus I am finding how many times, that is denominator, count how many times the previous word is occurred in my corpus. Among those, what fraction of time WI occurred after WI minus 1. Okay, what fraction of times the word is, the whatever word I want to predict is WI, that occurs after WI minus 1, after the previous word. That is the count of WI minus 1 comma WI divided by count of WI minus 1. Okay, how you have to interpret this is, that is in my corpus I have to find out how many times the word WI minus 1 occurred in my corpus. Among those times, how many times what fraction of times WI occurred, the word, whatever word, WI is the word which I want to find. Okay, how many number of times the WI occurred after WI minus 1. Okay, so this is a bigram. Like that, if it's a trigram, any gram you can calculate. So how to calculate the probability? Probability of WI given WI minus 1 is equal to count of WI minus 1 comma WI divided by count of WI minus 1. Okay, So generally it is written as, so P of Wi given Wi minus 1 is, so instead of count I am replacing at C. C represents the count. C of Wi minus 1 comma Wi divided by count of Wi minus 1 gives the probability of Wi given Wi minus 1. This count is replaced by C. In shorter terms they have written as C of. Okay, so now I have, see, I want to find. So what is the formula? Maximum likelihood estimate. The probability of Wi given Wi minus 1 is equal to count of Wi minus 1 comma Wi divided by count of Wi minus 1. Consider, now this is an example. Okay, I have taken an example. Consider 3 sentences. I have 3 sentences. So each sentence, the start of the sentence is given by this. Okay, angular bracket S represents the start of the sentence and angular bracket slash S represents the ending of the sentence, each sentence. Okay, so this is the start of the sentence. I am here. So before I have S that represents, this is the starting of a sentence here, and here is the ending of the sentence. So it is given by an angular bracket slash S. Okay, so how many sentences I have in my example corpus? Can you tell me? How many sentences I have in my example corpus? How many sentences I have here? I have taken. How many sentences I want to count, right? How many sentences I have? 3 sentences I have it. Okay. So start of the sentence is given by S and the end of the sentence is represented by slash S. Okay. So don't think that what is S and slash S. It is to represent the starting of a sentence and ending of a sentence. So I have taken three sentences and I want to compute the bigram. This is a formula for bigram or trigram. How many words prior to the context I am taking here? 1 word. So one word. So it is a bigram. Good. So compute the bigram probability Wi given Wi minus 1 for these bigrams. Okay. I am asking for compute P of I given S. Okay. I given S is the starting of the sentence. So how you can interpret this before finding the probability? Can you interpret this what it is? Can you interpret it and tell me what it is? I want to find these bigram probabilities based on the given sentence. These 3 sentences given. I want to calculate these bigram probabilities. So first I am taking the first bigram, P of I given S. This means what? Can you tell me? Interpret and tell me. I given S means given. Given it is the beginning of the sentence. Very good. Given beginning of the sentence. How many times? How many times? Numerator. Two. How many times? No. How many times? You have to interpret, complete the sentence. I am not asking the count. Given the beginning of the sentence, how many times I is occurring in the start. After, for I followed it. You have to tell me properly. Okay. So given, so this how I can interpret is given the starting of the sentence. I want to find out the probability how many times I followed after given the start of the sentence. So if you take this given here, given a word here, I have to find out how many times the word slash S, that is end of the sentence, followed after here. Okay, so this means I given slash first, if you take first one, I given starting of the sentence means given the starting of the sentence, I have to find out how many times the word I is occurring following the starting of the sentence. That is number of times the bigram S occurs. In that, how many times the start of the sentence? Among those, how many times I occurs after S? Okay, that is I have to find the count of how many times the start of the sentence occur. In that, among those, I have to find out how many times I occurs after the start of the sentence. That is the probability of I given S. This is the bigram probability. Like that, you can calculate for trigram, anything. Can you tell me the probability value? What will be the numerator part and what will be the denominator part? So, using this formula, what is Wi minus 1? What is the word I have to find out here? What is the probability I have to find out here? Wi. Take the first example. No, you 2 by 3 is correct. First you tell me what is Wi. What is the word I? Yes. Wi minus 1? I. What is Wi here? I. The word I. So Wi minus 1 will be, the previous word will be what?
Nothing, 0, the starting.
Start of the sentence, not 0. Before I, what I have here in my example. See, I want to find how many times I occur in my corpus. So I have to take this bigram probability. Before that, what is occurring? And this is Wi means Wi minus 1 will be what?
Starting.
Start of that
of the
is angular, yes. Start of the sentence. Very good. So can you tell me, so here in this formula, Wi is I. Wi is the word I. Wi minus 1 is before I, what is the sentence I am taking in the bigram? That is before I, what is the word I am taking is the start of the sentence. So how, so can you tell me what is an answer for I given S? The probability of I given start of the sentence. You have to read like this. What is the probability of the word I given start of the sentence? So what is the probability? Can you tell me, calculate and tell me using this bigram formula, maximum likelihood estimate? How many times
One.
I followed after start of the sentence divided by total number of what? Start of the sentence.
2 by 3.
2 by 3 is the probability. So the probability of I occurring after S is 2 by 3. So similarly for slash is given here. So the how you have to read is the probability of end of the sentence after here, after the word here, what is the probability there is an end of the sentence? Can you tell me the answer? So how to read this? First you have to make out how to read this. What is the probability of the end of, what is the probability that there is an end of a sentence occur in my given corpus? Given, what is the word? What is the word here? Given. Previous word is what? Before end of the sentence, what is the previous word?
Here.
Here. So what is the probability that slash s, that is end of the sentence, is given here? Okay, if here before end of the sentence, what here should be there. So in your corpus, if you see how many end of the sentence I have?
3.
3 end of the sentence. Before that, how many here is there? Here followed by end of the sentence, how many?
1.
Here followed by end of the sentence is 1 divided by here alone occurring in my corpus. Here alone occurring in my corpus, how much?
1.
1. So 1 by 1 is?
1.
1. Yes or no? What is Wi here? In the second example, what is Wi? Can you tell me what is Wi?
Start of sentence.
Stop. End of the sentence. Second one I am asking. What is Wi?
End of sentence.
End of sentence. Given Wi minus 1. What is Wi minus 1?
Here.
What is the word Wi minus 1 here? Which word is Wi minus 1? Which word is equivalent to Wi minus 1? If Wi is end of the sentence, before that what sentence I am here given here? What is the word I am given here? Here is Wi minus 1. So P of Wi given Wi minus 1 is P of Wi is end of the sentence, given here is Wi minus 1. So can you tell me the probability? Count of Wi minus 1 comma Wi, that is here followed by slashes, how many times occurring, divided by how many times here alone occurring in my corpus. What is the probability?
1.
1 divided by
1.
1, which is equal to 1. Can you tell me the last one? This is how you have to calculate the probability of occurrence of the next word based on the previous word. This is bigram. Similarly, trigram you can take. Previous 2 words you can take also. Okay. What is the last one? Can you tell me?
0 by 1.
0 by
1.
why? Can you tell me why you got 0 in the numerator?
No, like followed by no. That is nowhere it is like
Very
and no.
good. Like, the word like followed by no. What is Wi here, Priya? Which word is Wi? Represents Wi here?
No, ma'am.
No. Wi minus 1?
Like.
So there is no word called like followed by no. Any word in my corpus like followed by no is there? Any sentence I have like followed by no in any of the sentence in my corpus? In my corpus, can you tell me any sentence having like followed by no is occurring?
No, ma'am.
So numerator part is 0 divided by count of wi minus 1. So count of like, how many times like is occurring in my corpus, in my entire data set? The 3 sentences.
1.
1. So 0 by 1 it is 0. Okay. So this is how you have to calculate the probability. Okay. So now they have taken a bigram count for one restaurant corpus. They have taken a large restaurant corpus. Okay. You assume that there is a larger corpus which is having around 9,000 plus sentences. Okay. So they have taken a large, assume that there is a large restaurant. They have taken one restaurant corpus, and this corpus is talking about the restaurant. I am going to a restaurant. I am ordering food. Okay, so the restaurant having 9,000 plus sentences are there. Okay, and they have given the bigram count, I and I occurring. So they have taken few bigrams and they have shown this table. It is not the entire table for 9,000 word sentences. Okay, so they have taken one restaurant corpus. That restaurant corpus having 9,000 sentences plus sentences, and they have made a bigram count. Okay, and they have given a few sample bigram count for our understanding purpose. This is table not represents only a sample bigram, not the entire bigram count for the 9,000 words. So can you tell me from this bigram what this the first 5 represents? What is that 5 represent? Bigram is how many words? Bigram means how many words it will be taken?
One word from context.
One word from the context and the next word. Okay. So what is that first 5 represents? Tell me. There is a 5, right? What does that 5 represent?
I followed by I.
Very good. I followed by I is 5. What does 827 represents?
Want followed by I, perhaps.
No.
I followed by want.
By want. Very good. I followed by want. Can you tell me what the 686 represents?
2 followed by eat.
Okay, so
Two
now
followed
can
by
you
eat.
tell me from this table what you are inferring? It is the restaurant corpus. So which are all the words which is occurring more? 827, 608, 686, all these if you see. So first you take 827, I want. So if you go to a restaurant, what is the word mostly you will be using?
I want to eat.
I want this Chinese food. I want English food. I want this. I want pepper. I want mushroom, like that. I want is a word which is maximum used in my corpus to show that I am showing. So this is a bigram. I followed by want is maximum used in the corpus. Similarly, if you take the 608, I2, why it is 0? I followed by 2. Is that word occurs in my corpus mostly?
No.
I2, no. So that is given as 0. So want to.
608 times.
Yes, 608 times. So I want to eat. I want to drink. So want to is also the maximum combination of words which is occurring in the restaurant corpus. Okay. So I want is a bigram. So if you take 827, what I can tell is justify is if they give like this and if they ask you to justify, you have to justify that since it's a restaurant corpus, this I want is a bigram which is occurring more in the corpus. This tells us that I want some sort of food. So everybody wants something in the restaurant. So they will be using I want as a bigram which is occurring more in the corpus since it is telling about the restaurant corpus. Okay. So I and I is not occurring much. So this is occurring only 5 times. Okay. So, but I want is a word which is mainly concerned is a bigram which is occurring more in the corpus since it's a restaurant. I want some sort of food. They are asking something. So it is occurring more. Okay. So if I want to find the probability of this bigram count, so I have the count now. So if I want to find the probability, what I want extra? One more thing what I wanted from the previous thing, can you tell me? So now I have the count with me. So based on the count, I have to calculate P of Wi given Wi minus 1. So what I wanted to find the probability of this bigram count?
Count of words individually.
Very good. Count of unigram words. Very good. Count of individual words is what? Unigram, right? Which is not depending upon the context. What is unigram? Word alone occurring in my corpus. I am not depending upon any words prior to the context. Okay. So if I want to find the bigram count, I want to find the unigram count of all these words. So I have given the unigram count also. They have given I is occurring 2,533 times. Want is occurring 927 times. 2 is occurring this many times. Eat, Chinese, food. This is unigram count and this is bigram count. So based on this unigram count and bigram count, can you tell me the probability of I followed by I? Please make a note, calculate and tell me. I followed by I is, bigram count is 5. Followed by unigram count of I is 2,533. Can you tell me the probability now? I and I probability. Count I have given, right? Yes or no? You know the count, right? Bigram count. I and I how many times occurring?
5 times.
Divided by I alone occurring unigram.
2,533.
So what is the probability?
5 by 2,533.
You tell me the exact probability.
0.00
197. 197. So they have rounded as 0.002. So can you calculate for I and want? What is the probability? I and want. So I and want, can you find the count first? What is the count of bigram I followed by want is occurring? I is
824.
okay. I is Wi minus 1. Want is Wi. It is 827 times, and the unigram probability is. Find out this unigram from the table, and can you calculate the probability for I and want, and can you tell me the bigram probability? What is the bigram probability you are getting for I want?
0.326. No.
326. Okay, they are made it as double digit as 0.33. So this is how they are calculating the bigram probability given the count of the bigram. Divide. So if I want to find the bigram probability, what are the two things I wanted? Count of this bigram divided by the count of the normalized by the which gram?
Unigram.
Unigram, that is unigram. Okay, so this is how. So this is a restaurant corpus. They have find out the bigram count. They have taken all the words, and here they have shown only some sample words. Okay, they have 9,000 plus restaurant sentences, like start of the sentence with followed by end of the sentence, like that 9,000 sentences are there. In that they have taken few words and they have shown you a table how these words are occurring. Okay, so if you see in this bigram occurs, want to is occurring more, Chinese food is occurring more, eat lunch. If you see eat lunch is occurring more, Chinese food is occurring more, lunch, then to spend, to with spent is also occurring more. Okay, I want to spend more on Chinese food, like that. So these are all the words which is occurring. All these bigrams are occurring a lot in my corpus. So if they are occurring a lot in my corpus, what I will infer out of it, I can tell that I can tell that this corpus is telling lot about the values tells about lot about the corpus, that is more about ordering of food, eating specific kind of food. So all these I can able to make out that it is mainly telling about the restaurant corpus, about ordering food, eating specific kind of food, all this. Okay, so from this I can calculate the probability. So if I want to calculate the bigram probability, I want the unigram count, that is also given for the few words. Okay, so from that I have calculated the bigram probability. That is what I want is what. So if I want to compute the bigram probability, what I want, number of times the word occurs divided by the unigram probability. So if I do this, so I'll be getting the bigram probability. Okay. So now given a sentence. So given a sentence, I have a sentence like this, starting of the sentence, this is the ending of a sentence. I want English food. Okay, so if so how I can calculate the, if they ask you to calculate the bigram probability, how you can calculate the bigram probability? Can you tell me how you can calculate the bigram probability? Starting I followed by the starting of the sentence, want followed by I, English followed by want, food followed by English, then slash end of the sentence followed by food. These are all the possible bigrams, right? What are the possible bigrams for this given sentence? What are all the possible bigrams, students? How many possible bigrams you have? How many possible bigrams you have for this? If I want to calculate the probability for this given entire sentence. Previously, we have taken only the bigram, but they have given a sentence. Starting of the sentence, yes, followed by the sentences, I want English food by end of the sentence. So how many bigrams I have it here? Totally, how many bigrams I have here for the entire sentence?
5, ma'am.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bigrams. So all these bigrams probability you have to take it from the table. So I given, what is the probability of I given S? From here you see. So start of the sentence is not here. So they have not given it. Okay, it will be there. Start of the sentence, end of the sentence, in many words are all missing here. They have taken only the samples. Okay. So I given S. Okay, but that is start of the sentence followed by I. There will be some probability you would have calculated that multiplied by this, probability multiplied by this will give the bigram that gives the probability for the computing the sentence probability for the entire sentences. Okay. So they have taken some values and they have multiplied and they got this value. Okay. So you can assume that from this table, since the starting of the sentence, ending of the sentence values are not given, they have not given the entire table. Okay. They have given only the sample table. You can take like this and you can multiply it and you will be having some values like this. This will give the probability for the sentence using the bigram, using the previous probability. Okay. So for any sentence, I can find the bigram probability. Okay. So next one. I have like this. So I have probability of English given want, probability of Chinese given want, 2 given want in the restaurant. All these are restaurant corpus and it is a bigram probability. They have calculated the probability for the bigram, probability of English given want, probability of Chinese given want, probability of 2 given want, probability of eat given want, probability of food given 2. Probability of want given spent, probability of I given starting of the sentence. Okay, so they in that restaurant corpus only they have taken some bigrams and they have calculated the probability and they are asking us what you can able to infer from this. Can you tell me from this slide what you can able to infer? I have taken some random bigrams. Okay, I have taken some random bigrams from the restaurant corpus and I have calculated its probability. So from this random bigram, the word want with different words I have taken it. The word to with different words I have taken it. Okay. So I want to infer what I can able to infer out of it. Can you tell me what you can able to infer out of it? In a restaurant corpus, I have taken some bigrams and I have calculated the probability. So from this, can you tell me what you can able to infer from that corpus? What you can able to infer? Analyze and tell me.
And come to restaurant, mainly telling want to, since it is having the highest probability, and followed by eat. So they will be generally forming sentences like I want to eat and what eat.
No. First from first to, can you analyze and tell me what will be the inference you are getting it? People coming to the restaurant and they want Chinese food is how many times popular that? 6 times popular than the English food. The probability of Chinese food is 6 times popular than the English food. So what I can infer in my restaurant, which is moving better, Chinese food or English food?
Chinese
food. So that I can able to infer, yes or no? From my corpus, since I am calculating the probability, the people asking I want Chinese is 6 times more than that. People are asking I want English food. Okay, so the Chinese food is 6 times popular than the English food. That I can able to infer. Next, what I can able to infer? Food with 2. 2 followed by food. 2 followed by food is there. The word food never occurs after 2. So in my corpus, what they are telling? The word food never occurs after 2. So it is 0 times. Want and spend. That is also now want and spend together. It is not occurring. Both are verb. Okay. In a language, 2 verbs generally occur. They do not occur together. So want and spend. 2 verbs are not occurring together. That is want followed by spend. Okay. That is also 0%. So here this, can you tell me what is this? Want to 6 times to eat 0.28. So these are all the maximum. To eat, want to, I want to drink, I want to eat. So want to is occurring more times. To eat is also occurring more times. So this tells you about the corpus. Okay, so if it's a restaurant corpus, I should have the maximum words like want, eat, spend. Okay, all these are the maximum words. Then want with what are all the things, what they wanted. From that, if there are different varieties of food, want what variety. Okay, Chinese variety or English foods or what type of food. From that, if I can calculate the probability of want after all these, then I can find out want whether they are maximum they are liking Chinese food in my restaurant or English food in my restaurant. So this is a bigram, and this is a calculating the bigram count, and we can infer something out of it. Simply calculating the bigram and the probability count, we cannot leave it. We have to infer something. We have to infer that which word is occurring more in the corpus, that is based on the count, and based on the probability we can tell that the probability of want Chinese food is 6 times popular in my restaurant than the English food. Okay, so this is how we can infer out of it. Okay, so next one, what are the issues we will be having it? Okay, there are some practical issues. Okay, in probability calculation. So instead of taking all this probability and multiplying all the probability count, we can take a log of it and we can add it. Okay, if I am multiplying all the probability, sometimes which is very low, it may lead to a very small value underflow, or sometimes it may lead to 0. Okay, so better using a log by adding all the probabilities. So it becomes log P1, P2, P3, log of P1, probability 1, second bigram probability, third bigram probability, fourth bigram probability. And we will be having another issues also. When you are multiplying all this probability, we will be having handling zeros. Can you tell me what is handling zero? What is handling zero? How to handle zero? Can you tell me what issues I'll be having if I am multiplying all the bigram probability? Can you tell me what problems you will be having it? See, this is a bigram count, right?
Fine, Roman.
Wait, this is how you are multiplying all the probability. So when you are multiplying all the bigram probability, what is the problem you will be getting it? What is zero problem? What is the bigram? What is the problem will be? If any one of the bigram is not occurring in my corpus, I am giving some test data and I am finding the bigram probability for the test data. If any one of the bigram is not occurring in my corpus, then what will be my probability of the entire sentence?
0.
Okay, so that instead of not making it as the entire sentence as 0, we will be using some smoothing technique. Okay, so that is use smoothing technique to handle zeros. If there is any of the bigram count is not occurring in my corpus, then the corresponding probability of that bigram count only is 0. So when you multiply 0 with other bigram count for the entire sentence probability will be 0. So in order to avoid 0, we will be using some smoothing technique. Okay, that smoothing technique. There are two techniques are there. How to handle that zero probability bigrams or trigrams or n-grams. Okay, that we will be dealing with problems in the next class. Okay. So this is the toolkit. If you want, you can for language model SRILM is a toolkit which is available. You can download that, and there are many language models are available there. Okay, you can look into it. And this is what this is. It's an example for which gram model? Can you tell me? This is an example for serve as inspector, serve as the inspiration. I have one data set. Serve as the installation, serve as the institute, serve as the institution, serve as the institutional. These are all these many times occurring in my corpus. So this is an example for which gram? Can you tell me? It's an example. 4 gram. Okay, why it's 4 gram? For 4 gram it uses, for the 4 gram it uses previous
3 words.
3 words.
3 words. Okay, this is the fourth word. Inspector is the fourth word which I have to identify, which I have to find out. WI. Given what is WI minus 1? The previous 3 words are serve as the. So serve as the inspector, serve as the given, serve as the what is inspiration, how many times it's occurring. Given serve as the installation, how many times occurring in my corpus. Given serve as the 3 words. So it is a 4 gram data. So given for 4 grams, how many words prior to the context we are taking? How many words prior to the context we are taking? For 4 words. 3 words we are taking. So my 4th word is inspector. If I want to find out inspector, the previous serve as the inspector how many times. So this is an example to show you this is a 4 gram data model. Okay. So evaluating language model, whether we'll be able to finish today or not, I don't know. So I'll give some example problems now. You can solve it. Okay. So evaluating language model, we will be doing it tomorrow's class, or whether I can able to finish. I'm able to finish this today, I think. Okay, I think I can able to do it. Or I'll give some problems, you will do it. Okay, evaluating language model. So you have constructed one language model. You want to evaluate your language model. So see, whenever you are constructing something, you will be evaluating or not. You are developing some model. Whether you will be evaluating that model or not. Yes or no? You will be you are constructor, for example, you have written a program for A plus B, simple A plus B. Whether you will be evaluating this by giving some test data or not, and finding out the accuracy of your model or not. Yes or no? Your model is addition A plus B. Yes. Similarly, you are constructed some language model and you have to evaluate the language model. Okay, and how you will finalize your language model is good or bad? Does it prefer good sentence to bad sentence? That is assigning your language model should assign a high probability to a good sentences than the bad ungrammatical sentences. For a wrong sentence, it should give a less probability, and for the proper sentence, it should give a good probability. Then only you can say that your language model is a better language model. So in order to evaluate your language model, I have a training data and test data. Okay, training data set and test data set. What is training data set? Using your training data set, I will be building a model. Okay, using my training data set, I will be building a model. So the parameters of the model are trained on a larger corpus of the text called the training data. So for example, if I have 1,000 data set, in that 750 maximum data, 800 data I will be taken as a training. I will be training my model, and 200 data set I will be keeping for testing. That 200 data set I will be giving to the training model, and I will be checking out how my model works for my test data. Okay, so that's why training data, I will be having a training data set. Corpus is training corpus and test corpus. So I will be having some 100 documents. In that 90 documents, I will be taking some 90 documents as a training document, and I will be training my model. Remaining 10 documents I will be keeping for my test. Once my model is trained, I will be giving the test documents, and I will be finding out how properly it is testing or not. Okay, how broad is the accuracy of my model. So for evaluating, I will be having a training corpus and the test corpus. Training corpus, using the training corpus, I will be constructing a model, and I will be using the test corpus, I will be evaluating the metrics to check how good the model is doing in my test data. Okay, so the test data is used for an evaluation metric to check how good the model is doing in my test data. So there are 2 evaluation criteria are there: extrinsic evaluation and intrinsic evaluations. Okay, there are 2 criteria for evaluation: extrinsic evaluation of language model and intrinsic evaluation of language model. So in extrinsic evaluation of language model, what we have to do is assume that you have developed some 2 language model. Assume that for A plus B alone, you have done 2 models. One without using functions, other using with functions like that. So you assume that you have constructed some language model, 2 language models A and B. Okay, so you have constructed you have a training data. The same training data, I have constructed 2 different language models. Okay, first language model I call it as A, and other language model I call it as B. Okay, assume that you have constructed 2 different language model using the same training data. Then apply some task. Okay, some applications like spelling correction you apply for the language model which you have created. 2 language models I have. For the language model A, you apply some tasks, some applications like machine translation, spelling correction, auto query completion, like that. You give some applications and you check how far it is doing properly. Similarly, you have constructed another language model B. For the same another language model B also, you apply some applications like machine translation, give some sentence, ask them to translate it, and give some error spelling sentences and ask them for spelling correction, and give an query completion. Okay, I want dash, and find out the answers. Okay, and so I have model A, model B. Model A, I have applied some application and I have some performance of model A. So I have calculated the performance, how it is performing, and I have a language model B. I have applied some task for that language model B. It's the same task like machine translation, spelling correction, query completion. I have applied for the second model, and I have calculated the performance separately. So now I have the performance of language model A and performance of the language model B. So, okay, so find the performance of A and B separately and find out which gives the better result. Whether A is giving a better result or B is giving a better result. If the model A gives a better result, then that is taken as the best model. Or if a language, if the model B is giving a best output, then it is taken as a best model. Okay, this is called as an extrinsic method of evaluation. So you have a training data. Using training data, I will be constructing some 3 models, 2 models or 4 models. After constructing a model, I am giving some application. For example, 3 application I have taken. One is machine translation, spelling correction, query completion. The 3 applications I am giving to model A and model B, and I am calculating the performance, how it is performing in model A, how it is performed in model B. So whichever has a better performance, that model is taken as a best model for evaluation. Okay, this is how we can evaluate using extrinsic method. And intrinsic method is, I will tell you in the next class. Okay, and it's time now. So intrinsic method of evaluation, I will tell you. So once you have constructed some language model, extrinsic method is how you can do is, you can find out the performance by different mode, by giving some application to different models separately, calculating the performance for each model, and whichever, for example, model A is giving 91% of accuracy, model B is giving 80% of accuracy, then model A is best when compared to model B. So the model is created using same training data and same test data is given to models and different models and finding the accuracy. That's why it's given here. Comparison of 2 models A and B. Take some tasks, spelling correction, speech recognition, machine translation, apply to both the models. Get the accuracy values of both the models A and B and compare the accuracy of both the models A and B. Which model is giving a best accuracy, that is taken as the best model for calculation. So this is the one way of evaluating a language. You have created a language model, you have to evaluate your model. Okay, so which model is the best one? You have constructed some 3 models. Which is the best model? Like this extrinsic method, you can do it. Intrinsic method, I will tell you in the next class. Okay. Any doubt till here? So intrinsic method of evaluation, from here we